Hey guys, it's Jason from Hard Money Bankers with your Private Money Minute. Today I want to talk about comping properties and valuing your deals. This is a very common topic that I talk about all the time, but I strongly believe that this is one of the most challenging things for real estate investors, but also the most important. And no one else should be determining or telling you what a property will resell for except yourself. Now, obviously, you're going to rely on some third-party resources to help you out. Everybody is, right? Other real estate investors, agents, maybe some appraisers, but you need to make the final decision of what you feel based on the facts and the resources that you have of what you think that property is going to sell for. It's your money, so you're the person to make that decision. And as a real estate investor, this is the highest level thing that you really need to concentrate on to know. Okay, so a lot of things that you have to take in consideration on. The quality of renovations. A property that you renovate will sell for differently than a property that I will renovate. And neither one of us necessarily will be higher or lower. It's just based on, the improvements, the quality of the work, what your end goal is on this thing. You may want to just, do some minor renovations and list below market value, or you may want to do a full gut renovation and try to push the limits, right? So different investors have different comps. There's no such thing as just going on MLS and saying, hey, tell me what this property is worth. There's so many other missing factors that you can't just do that blind. You got to go to the property. You got to understand the work. You got to understand what they're trying to accomplish, how quick they want to sell the property for, right? There's a lot of different things to take into consideration. But renovations is probably the most important. Obviously, the higher the renovations and materials you use and the work and craftsmanship you use, the higher it'll sell for. Another big thing is what's happening in the market right now, the average days on the market. What's selling, what's not selling. Are you lucky enough to have good other sold properties or a lot of activity in those neighborhoods? Because some neighborhoods don't have a lot of activity, so it's really hard to determine what's going on, or what time of year you're selling the property for, if it's a transition in a school year, whatever the case are. Those are all things of what's happening in the market, and more importantly, the affordability of that neighborhood. Most homeowners will pay as much as they can qualify for. That's just the fact of the way that it works. That being said, a lot of people can't, there's bench limits of what they can qualify for, what they can afford to, so they just can't get into that property. There's a lot of subdivisions I know that kind of max out at like $225,000, not because there hasn't been higher end sales. There certainly are, and you should take those into consideration. But the majority of them are sitting around that 219 mark because that's all the homeowners in that area can afford. So there's no other way for them to get into that property, the people that want to live in that house. And there's also other conditions that a lot of people don't think of that you really need to. Telephone lines in the backyard, being on a double yellow line, a barking dog, just some quirky thing in the neighborhood that you don't know of until you drive the property and check it out. So the bottom line is this. You need to understand how to pull comps. You need to master it. You need to analyze the data, and you need to prove to yourself, play little games with yourself of, this is why I am 100% sure this property is going to sell on it, right? Don't rely on somebody else to tell you what your property will sell for. Use them as a resource and voice your own opinion of what you feel the property will be worth so you can make the most money in every real estate transaction. Again, this is Jason with your Private Money Minute.